just to say, hi, Georgie, it's Darcy. Can you please pay your share of the rent? It's due today.
Darcey Silva just posted a video that's about to blow up every 90-day Fiancé group chat in existence. And if you thought her marriage to Georgi Rusev couldn't get any messier, buckle up, because we haven't even gotten to the worst part yet. The clip shows Georgi at a nightclub, dancing close, way too close, with another woman, completely unbothered that cameras and phones are everywhere. And Darcy didn't just post it and disappear. She stacked it with caption after caption about choosing herself, about finally knowing her worth, about refusing to settle for less than she deserves. That's not a woman quietly processing something. That's a woman lighting a match. But here's the part that's going to make your jaw drop, because it is not just some random woman from the club. Reportedly, this is someone close to Darcy, someone in her actual friend circle. We're going to get into exactly who in a minute, and trust me, it's worse than you think. Okay, quick channel check-in, then we're diving all the way in, because there is a lot to unpack here. So let's back up for a second, because you need the full picture to understand why this is so different. Darcey and Georgi have been on a roller coaster since day one. They met years ago, went through a boyfriend-girlfriend chapter on Darcy and Stacey, broke up, got back together, broke up again, and somehow ended up married in November of 2023. If you followed this couple even casually, you know their whole dynamic has always been dramatic breakups, followed by dramatic reconciliations. Darcy has questioned his loyalty before. Fans have questioned his loyalty before, and every single time they've found a way to patch things up publicly, at least for a while. So when I tell you fans are torn right now, that history is exactly why. Now here's the update that's actually new. According to the reporting going around, Darcy stopped covering for Georgi. For a long time, by most accounts, she tried to protect the marriage, tried to handle things behind the scenes instead of airing it out. That changed the moment this club footage surfaced, because once you post a video of your husband dancing intimately with another woman at a crowded club, you are done keeping the peace. You are telling the world, look at this, and you are telling your husband, I see you. And then comes the reveal that's turning this from a normal cheating rumor into a full scandal. Reality TV commentary accounts, specifically one going by Christie's 90-Day Drama, are reporting that the woman in question is someone named Roxy, who is reportedly a longtime friend of both Darcy and her twin sister Stacey. Let that sit for a second. This isn't a stranger from a bar. This is reportedly someone who has been in Darcy's life, in Darcy's circle, maybe even someone who has sat across from her at dinner and listened to her talk about her marriage. There's a photo going around too, one where this woman's hand is resting right on Georgi's face, comfortable, familiar, not the kind of touch you give someone you just met an hour ago. If that's accurate, that is not just a cheating scandal. That's a betrayal with two layers, because it's not only your husband, it's someone who was supposed to be your friend. I want to pump the brakes here for 1 second, because I know how this fandom works, and I know some of you are already ready to fully convict everybody involved. We don't have official confirmation from Darcy, from Georgi, or from Roxy herself breaking this down in their own words. What we have is a video, a set of captions, and a report naming a specific person. So everything here is reportedly, allegedly, according to. I'm not going to pretend a screenshot and a blogger's sourcing is a courtroom confession, but I also think it's fair to talk about what this looks like, because what it looks like is bad. So now let's talk about why so many fans aren't even shocked, because this is not the first time Georgi's loyalty has been questioned. Rewind to last year, when Darcy and Georgi sat through a tell-all, and things got uncomfortable fast. Castmate Kara reportedly raised concerns directly about whether Georgi had been faithful, essentially telling Darcy she believed he had one foot out the door, and it didn't stop there. Jovi, who has apparently spent real time around Georgi in Miami, was reportedly asked point-blank if he had something to share, and by the way he responded, it was clear he knew more than he was saying out loud on camera. Darcy visibly did not look okay at that moment. So when people say this isn't coming out of nowhere, they're not wrong. This has been simmering for a while. The only thing that's changed is now there's an actual video circulating instead of just suspicion and side-eyes at a reunion special. And that brings us to the part of the fandom that is, understandably, furious on Darcy's behalf. A lot of longtime viewers have watched her go through this exact emotional cycle over and over. Trust issues, distance, feeling like she's the one holding the relationship together while he pulls away. There are fans out there who genuinely feel for her right now, who see this as the final straw in a marriage that has quietly been falling apart behind the scenes for a long time. If you've watched her financial frustrations with him play out, if you've seen her basically have to loop her own father into text messages just to get Georgi to pay his share of the rent, you already know this wasn't a relationship running smoothly even before any of this cheating stuff came up. But then there's the other half of the fandom, and I have to be honest with you. Have broken up, quite unquote, more times than most of us have started diets. They called it off in 2020. They seemed to be done again in 2024, with Darcy posting about finally feeling free. Rumors swirled that they'd split again in early 2025 after filming a tell-all, and every single time, within a matter of weeks or months, they were back, following each other, posing together, posting anniversary tributes like nothing happened. So when a portion of this fandom looks at this new club video and says, "Here we go again," I understand why. Some viewers are openly speculating that this entire cycle, breaking up publicly, generating buzz, quietly reconciling, has become less of a relationship and more of a strategy to stay relevant for another season, another spin-off, another storyline. Is that a little cynical? Sure. Is it completely unreasonable given their track record? Also, no. Here's where I land on it, and I want to say this clearly, because I think both things can be true at once. It is entirely possible that Darcy is genuinely hurt right now. Watching a video of your husband getting cozy with someone else in public, someone reportedly close to you, that is a real, painful thing, regardless of what happens next. Nobody gets to tell her that pain isn't valid just because she's posted breakup content before. At the same time, it is also entirely possible that 6 months from now, we're watching them hold hands at a reunion special, explaining how they worked through it. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. People stay in messy relationships for real reasons, and reality stars sometimes lean into drama because drama is currency in this industry. You can feel for someone and still clock the pattern. What makes this specific chapter worse than the usual Darcey and Georgi cycle, though, is the alleged identity of the other woman. If this really is someone from inside her friend group, someone connected to her sister too, that's not just Georgi being disloyal to his wife. That's an entire social circle potentially getting rearranged. Imagine finding out the person allegedly involved isn't a stranger you can just block and never think about again, but someone who might show up at your sister's house, someone who has history with your family. That's the kind of betrayal that doesn't just end a marriage. It can end friendships, split social circles, and leave permanent damage that has nothing to do with cameras or contracts. So where does this actually go from here? As of right now, there's no divorce filing that's been reported, no joint statement, nothing from Georgi publicly defending himself, and nothing from the woman named in these reports either confirming or denying anything. Darcy's social media has stayed cryptic, which honestly tracks with how she's handled things before. She hints, she makes vague posts, she lets the internet connect the dots, and then either the truth comes out in a future episode or the whole thing quietly fades until the next blow-up. My honest take, watching this pattern for as long as we all have, is that this feels less like a clean ending and more like the loudest chapter yet in a relationship that has never actually been stable. Whether Darcy stays or finally walks away for good, I don't think either outcome would shock a single person who's followed this couple. What would actually shock me at this point is if they announced a real, final divorce and stuck to it without a reunion special 6 months later. So I want to know what you think. Do you believe Darcey and Georgi are actually done this time, or do you think we'll see them reconcile again like every single time before? And more importantly, if the reports about who this woman is turn out to be true, does that change how you see this whole situation, or does it just confirm what a lot of you already suspected about this marriage? Drop your take in the comments, because I already know this section is going to be a battlefield. If you want to see where this fandom's frustration is really boiling over right now, go watch the video I just posted about Mido completely ignoring Debbie for weeks and then somehow making himself the victim of his own bad behavior. It's unhinged in a completely different way, and I think you're going to have a lot to say about that one too. Like this video if you want more of these breakdowns, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.